G'day friends, Stan Lee here. Welcome to the rundown on Mcgregor Poirer 2. This will be a more informal kind of series where I'll run over one fight and look at some clips and share some thoughts, but let's just get straight into Conor and Dustin. Much like the cowboy fight, Conor opens with a lunging left hand, to which Dustin's first response is to flick the jab, inside low kick and check hook. Now this really encapsulates the game plan for Dustin and Brown here when viewed in hindsight. They circle a little bit, Dustin hits a few inside leg kicks and we end up here. Now, this is the first time the check hook lands clean for Dustin. One of Conor's most dangerous shots comes from people trying to touch him, only to have him pull and fire like lightning on his left cross. And it's pretty crazy to see Dustin bait this here and land with such authority. It shows how tuned into this fight Dustin and his team were, and they didn't just have hopes of avoiding Conor's power, but intended to draw it out and punish it. The two feint a little more and Dustin shoots. Now, the thing I loved about this takedown was that he hides it behind the shifting right hand that he used in the Holloway fight. In that fight, he pushed Max backwards and landed over the top to counter his quick retreats. But here, I'm sure he knew Conor was going to stand and counter, and he goes straight under the left hand and gets him down. It's a really cool example of using your skills in different ways for different fighters. Conor has not been a typically easy guy to get down when he's committed to takedown defense, so feeding him the read of the shift and getting him to square up his hips by throwing that left hand was a brilliant method for surprising with the takedown. Conor scoots back to the fence, he gets up, turns Dustin around, there's some shoulder strikes and some banter, and they break away from the fence with about a minute 40 left. Conor starts to land some good shots here, and specifically he beats Dustin to the punch the next time he attempts the check hook. Dustin attempts to shift forward and level change again, but it's easily read this time. Conor is starting to get his timing in more and more, and we're seeing Dustin take a few more shots. We see Dustin look for the shift a third time, but this time instead of changing levels, he looks to throw the overhand right. Conor easily evades the entire sequence and attempts to fire back, so it looks to me like him and Kavanagh were watching for this and waiting for it to come from Dustin's, with plans to evade and counter. So once again, Dustin turning that into a takedown attempt was just brilliant. Conor opens up with another left hand and Dustin sticks the check hook clean for the second time. It's about now that Poirer starts committing to the outside calf kick as well. Up until now it was mostly the inside leg kick, but he really starts hammering the outside kick. Another interesting point here is Dustin's jab. If we look at the way he uses the jab in this fight, he never really commits to it as an attack, and he's always using it to draw out Mcgregor's counters, specifically the left hand. Here we see Dustin multiple times bait his lead hand out towards Conor and even banter a little at him for not attempting to fire back, which Conor gladly does immediately, and which Dustin has another crack at the check hook. It doesn't really land flush, but then Conor goes for it one more time, and this time Dustin hits the check hook quite clean, but not without taking a solid left from Mcgregor to end the round. At the start of round 2, Dustin opens with a hard outside calf kick and Conor clearly feels it now. Conor lunges back in with the left and he runs straight back into the check hook. And this is when Dustin really starts upping the volume on the kick. Earlier, Dustin was flicking out the jab to draw Conor's counter left so he could pull and fire the check hook, and now he's flicking his feints out to force Conor to react. Anytime Conor puts weight on that lead foot, Dustin is ready to smash it. You cannot really commit to leaning forward, getting ready to pull back or slip punches, or plant your foot and push away, and check kicks at the same time, so Dustin was able to simply time Conor based on his reactions. Conor starts trying to catch the kick, and a few times he does, but he never really gets to do much with it. And his leg is already pretty compromised by the time he starts trying to do it. Dustin was already avoiding the majority of Conor's offense. He took a few shots here and there, but now that Conor's leg was fucked, Dustin is having a lot of fun making Conor reach. In the end, it's the leg kick combined with the check hook as Conor tries to punch through the kick that wobbles him. Poirer clearly sees something in Conor's eyes as he immediately pulls on the pace. Conor is hurt bad and his leg is badly damaged. Dustin is an animal in this position, pouring on pressure when people are hurt, and it's just a matter of time until Conor eats a big shot and goes down. This was an amazing performance for Dustin. He stayed committed to his plan and slowly took Conor apart while staying safe. This is a guy who just came off multiple Fight of the Year contenders over the past few years, who was able to tactically bring down one of the sport's most impressive counterpunchers, and did so all while exchanging with him in his most dangerous windows of offense. Just a masterful performance, and a third fight between the two sounds amazing to me, both for Dustin's bank and for the fans. Thanks for watching, and please leave a comment or sub to the page.